So you wake up with a weight on your chest. Before even your eyes are fully open, as soon as your mind switches on, your brain is already racing. You see your to-do list right in front of your eyes. What didn't happen, what didn't get done yesterday and still need to do today. And the to-do list that gets just bigger and bigger. You scroll, you panic, you push, you pour another coffee, and you try so hard to focus. But inside, you are tired in a way that even sleep can't fix. You are barely holding it together. You show up, you work hard, you keep going, but deep down you feel like a shell of yourself. You feel drained, you feel disconnected, you feel defeated, like you are stuck in the same day on repeat. You tell yourself that you should be grateful, that you are fine, that there are people that have it worse. So you try to force yourself to journal, to meditate, to visualize, to affirm, but it actually feels like you're forcing that peace instead of actually feeling it. If this is you, you're not broken, you're not lazy, you're not unmotivated, there's nothing wrong with you. You're just simply stuck in survival mode without even realizing it and without actually understanding how being stuck in this survival mode is the thing that is holding you back from everything that you want to achieve and everything that you want to become. And as long as you stay in that state of survival, in that state of fight or flight, you'll never be able to create your dream life. No matter how much you plan, no matter how much you push, no matter how much you force, it is simply impossible for you to create your dream life from that state. And I know this because I've spent years getting in and out of that state. And as long as I was in that cycle of survival mode, as long as I was in this fight or flight, I was never able, I didn't have any capacity, I never had any energy to create a reality that was greater than that. But whenever I finally reached a point where I was so completely burned out, I'm just gonna completely let go right now, I'm just gonna relax, I'm gonna surrender, I'm just gonna get back inside myself, I'm gonna focus my energy on myself and stop trying to force things. Whenever I will do that, I will unconsciously be attracting the desired outcome and the result that I was trying to get when I was forcing things. And without even putting any effort, without taking any real action towards that, just because I learned how to finally surrender, I learned how to finally let go and to get myself out of that survival mode without, of course, being conscious about it, that's when things started to move for me. And I finally now I'm able to see these cycles, these pattern that I have of getting in and out of survival. And once you become completely and fully aware of that, it literally changes the game, because now you have the awareness and understanding of you are no longer unconscious of your state. You understand that if I'm feeling this way, if I have these results, this is because I am in survival mode. And you instantly understand, hey, if I continue being here, there's nothing like fruitful coming out of it. So you understand and you realize that I need to switch back on and get out of that survival mode, regulate my nervous system, pour my energy into myself, and that's how you're able to create the change that you want. Once you're able to understand the impact of getting out of survival mode and getting out of fight or flight, the impact that this has on actually achieving your dreams, when you learn to do that, you will train yourself and your mind to seek alignment. When I realized the root of my problems was being in survival and how unprotective this is for my life, I was able to understand the importance of regulating my nervous system, the importance of keeping myself out of survival, keeping myself and my system feeling safe. And now I understand and I recognize the importance of bringing myself into alignment in order to achieve my desired outcomes, but also to live a life that is in alignment. So if this is you and you are done with staying stuck in these cycles that drain you, if you're done done just getting by and you're ready to actually start creating a life that you're feeling happy and you're feeling fulfilled with, then this video is for you. Because I'm going to show you the 3 steps that helped me to finally break free and finally get out of survival mode. This is not just surface level advice, but the actual inner shifts that bring your nervous system out of fight or flight and into clarity, calm, and vision. So if you're ready, let's get into this. Hi guys, I'm Adriana and welcome back to my channel. So in this video, I'm going to give you the 3 steps that are going to help you get out of survival mode, get out of fight or flight, the shifts that helped me get myself out of this state and put me into a state of alignment. So if you want to learn more on why you can't create your dream life out of survival while you're still stuck in fight or flight, then the latest video that I have on my YouTube channel is talking exactly about that, and it will help you understand more specifically why you need to make these shifts. So you can watch that video in addition to these 3 steps that will help you get out of survival mode, and this will allow you and help you understand the impact that your nervous system has on your ability to create your dream life. It's something that I downplayed for a long time, but now that I see its true impact and its influence on my life, I understand it's a top priority for me in order to keep creating a life that feels in alignment. So let's go into the first step. Step number 1 is that you have to feel safe first. So if you're constantly forcing, overthinking, and you're feeling disconnected from your intuition, then you're probably not in a state of safety, but you're actually in a state where your body feels completely unsafe and unprotected. You're probably even running on survival mode without even realizing it. And I've been there recently where for weeks I will be waking up. As soon as I wake up, as soon as I open my eyes, as soon as I become conscious, my body will immediately tighten, will immediately start feeling like anxious, feeling stressed, and thinking that, oh, I have to wake up and start doing my to-do list, otherwise things are not gonna get done, and if things don't get done, then things are not gonna happen for me. And I was immediately raising my cortisol and feeling completely unsafe in my body and in my environment. And so because I was constantly pushing, constantly forcing, constantly doing things nonstop, I will switch completely off my feminine energy, and I was primarily acting from my masculine energy, where masculine energy, as I said in my last video, is all about logic, reasoning, physical actions, just go energy where is primarily focused on actions. And doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman, we both have feminine and masculine energy in us. So when these energies are not in balance, you are burning out. It doesn't matter if you're a man. Maybe your masculine energy as a man is higher, you have more masculine than feminine. But if you do not try to balance these 2 energies in your life in one way or another, you are going to create this imbalance in yourself and therefore in your life. And when you're just acting out of your masculine energy, you are going to burn yourself out. And especially if you're a woman and you're completely running on masculine energy and you don't have those moments where you allow your feminine energy to come out and to balance out the masculine energy, then you are completely pushing your body into the limits and you're completely dysregulating your nervous system. And this imbalance is shown into your life, is shown into your body, and that's why a lot of women, they have dysregulated hormones. They have, for example, for me, some examples I have were losing a lot of my hair, because I could see that my hormones were getting out of balance, and I wasn't sure where was this coming from. This was coming from high levels of cortisol, high levels of stress, and that stress was coming because my body didn't feel safe. I was in this unregulated nervous system state, this fight or flight, and therefore, because I didn't allow for my feminine energy to balance this out, I didn't have this energy of relaxing, of slowing down, of being soft with myself, then my body was reacting to it. And so that left me in a state of complete burnout. And of course, I tried to fix things by trying to visualize, trying to manifest, trying to affirm, trying to script, trying to journal. But these things couldn't work for me the way that they used to, because they were done as part of my to-do list, as part of my actions, and not as a part of taking care of myself. They weren't anymore a form of self-care that came out of my feminine energy, but they became a part of my masculine energy because I put them in my to-do list. And now there were things that I just had to get done as soon as possible in order to move to the next one, in order to move to the next one, so I can get things done faster and faster. And so I put myself into this hamster wheel where where my days, like, they became one. I was completely stressed. I was completely unable to go out of that hamster wheel and see what was going on. Why were all of these things that I was doing not working? The reason why none of these things worked was because my nervous system didn't feel safe. And when your nervous system doesn't feel safe, when your nervous system is in survival mode, your feminine energy switches off because you are giving the signal to your body that we are in danger, and right now I need all of my energy to go towards keeping me alive. So in order to keep you alive, your feminine energy of creativity, of imagination, of intuition completely switches off, because these are not things that you're going to use in order to survive. These are things that you use in order to thrive. And so because I put myself into this survival mode, my masculine energy was on and my feminine energy was completely switched off. My intuition was completely switched off. My access to my creativity, to imagination, were completely cut off from me. So I wasn't able to see things clearly the way that I was able to do normally. What changed things for me was when I started to bring back meditation into my life. And it didn't happen like instantly. Like, I would start meditating 10 minutes a day and I will start to see things more clearly. It's because I gave myself that space to sit down and breathe, to sit down and allow no thoughts to take over my mind and to overwhelm me and to create anxiety. I gave myself that space of no thought, of being completely in the present moment. Just because I did that, I was able to give my body moments of peace and safety. And in those moments, more clarity was able to come out. So when I would journal after meditating, I would start to see a lot of my patterns that were going on. And it gave me more and more clarity of what was going on. And so finally, lately, one of the things that came to me and I was able to see clearly was how dysregulated my nervous system was, and how often I was getting into cycles of survival mode. And before I would hear people talking about nervous system regulation, and I was thinking that, oh, this is just another one of these things that I need to work on in order to get better. But it was just one of these things, and I found them like maybe they're more important things I need to focus on right now. But actually what I realized was that everything starts from there, because if your nervous system is not regulated, it affects every aspect of your life. If your nervous system is unregulated, you are therefore in survival, you are in fight or flight, therefore you are stuck in this loop, you're stuck in this hamster wheel of just doing things and never actually moving forward. You're stuck in the same loop, stuck in the same cycle, and unable to actually move forward. You're just like this hamster that you think that you're running and you're trying to get to that, cheese, but you didn't actually move, you didn't actually get out of the hamster wheel in order to walk towards the cheese and to get it. You are stuck in this loop, and as long as you are in that wheel, as long as you're in that hamster wheel and you're running on it, you're never gonna be able to get out of it and have the cheese. And so I was able to understand that, well, nervous system regulation is not so unimportant. It's actually very key in having everything that I want. In allowing myself to get out of survival mode, I allow myself the ability to actually have a chance achieving my dreams, creating my dream life, creating a life that I'm actually in alignment with and that I want, and not a life where I'm simply surviving, where a life where I'm simply doing things but not actually getting the results that I want. So that's why meditation is so important. Like, people think it's just, it makes you spiritual. It doesn't. You don't even need meditation. What you need is to allow yourself the stillness to sit down. For you, maybe it's not meditation, maybe it's just sitting and going out in nature, just looking at the trees, being completely in the present moment. This is what grounding is. Grounding is putting yourself completely and fully into the present moment, where you literally sit and smell the roses, you see the wind, you see the sky, you put yourself in the now, and therefore you're able to pause your thoughts. You are not thinking about the future, you're not thinking about the past, you're in the present moment. And when you create this gap of thoughts, you are giving access to yourself, and you put yourself in a state of finally receiving guidance, receiving intuition. Because when you're just thinking, you give no space to your intuition to be heard. You give no space for guidance to come in, because you are constantly thinking and using your logic and reasoning. So I was able to understand the importance of nervous system regulation and the importance of feeling safe. So I was able to tell myself, to teach myself, hey, nothing is chasing me right now. Nothing is in danger right now. I am safe right now. I am okay right now. So I'm trying to bring myself back into this feeling. Every time I get myself overwhelmed, remind me that right in this present moment, I am okay. And when you bring back yourself into the present moment, it allows you to expand beyond your future, beyond your past. You are able to create in that present moment. And that's why books like The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, like, they speak about this power of now, because it is in the present moment where you're able to create beyond your past circumstances and your expected future. So the more I did my meditations, the more I was able to stop overthinking. I was able to ground myself into my body, to drop my burdens, to drop my worries, to drop my anxieties, and give them away into a higher power, into my subconscious, and let my subconscious handle that rather than my conscious mind. Because I saw that going at my problems, trying to solve them through my conscious mind, meaning my logic, my thinking, my reasoning, my actions, it didn't serve me. It didn't actually help me create any progress. So I completely surrendered and let them go to my subconscious, because our subconscious is connected to infinite possibilities. And so your subconscious is able to see beyond, to see solutions beyond what you are capable of thinking. We have such restricted thinking in our conscious mind, but the solutions are beyond that. They are beyond that restricted, limited thinking that we have in your conscious mind. So the only way to get access to the solutions is to give those problems to your subconscious. So when I did that, something shifted. I was able to get more clarity, more ideas, more vision, more creativity, more imagination, more intuition. And having that clear intuition with yourself is what aligns you with the actions and the things that you need to do then to come, to allow those dream realities, that to allow those results to come into your life. Action that doesn't come out of alignment is action that is pointless, but action that comes from alignment, that comes from your intuition, that comes from your subconscious calling you to do something. When it comes from guidance like that, that action is aligned then with your desired result, and therefore it connects you with that timeline where you have your desired outcome. And as soon as I relaxed, I was able to see the contrast between what I felt before. I realized how tense I have been. And even though I've been doing the inner work, I was slipping still unconsciously into these cycles of survival mode. Even you right now, you could be in this survival mode and you don't even realize it, because it's something that is very unconscious. Like, you don't see yourself being in it while you're in it. You just become completely blinded to it. So once I got out of it, I was able to see how deeply in survival I was before, because I felt the contrast. I felt how it is to be safe in the present moment, to feel safe in my body, compared to what I was feeling before, where I was in complete fear, complete unsafety, complete dysregulation. So if you are stuck right now, chances are you are too in survival mode and you're not able to consciously understand it and consciously see it. So here's the truth that is going to free you from that. Until your body feels safe, your feminine energy, meaning your imagination, your intuition, your creativity, the part of you that receives, that part of you will continue to be blocked, will continue to be switched off. And as long as your feminine energy is switched off, you are unable to use the faculties, your intuition, your imagination, your creativity, the things that are going to actually create your dream reality. You have to see your feminine energy as a woman. If a woman doesn't feel safe, doesn't feel protected, doesn't feel nurtured, it doesn't feel safe to open up. So if that feminine energy, that woman is closed off, is not able to guide you, is not able to receive, is not able to align you and to keep you, to give you intuition, to give you to keep you aligned, to send creativity your way. So if you see yourself as a woman, if you treat that part of you as you will treat a woman, as you will treat a girlfriend, where you are more soft with her, you're more kind, you're more protective, you are more nurturing towards her, then that part of you is feeling safe enough to open up with you and to give you back guidance, to give you back alignment, to give you intuition, to give you creativity that you need in order to go towards your desired outcomes. It's so key for you to learn how to slow down, how to be quiet, how to drop into the present moment and remind your nervous system that right now, right in this present moment, I am safe. And if that feels impossible, then this is a sign that your old wounds are still living inside of you. Your old wounds, meaning stories from the past that are keeping your body in a state that it has to be ready and to be ready for impact, ready for a threat, ready for danger to come, and therefore it needs to be ready to fend for itself. So that is your sign to go deeper with those beliefs, with those wounds, and to do the shadow work and to rewire those beliefs into beliefs that serve you, into beliefs that make your body feel safe, and then let them go. So that will allow your nervous system now to be regulated and not being held back by the stories of the past. Because until you feel safe, you are going to continue staying stuck in survival mode. And as long as you stay stuck in survival mode, no matter how much action you take, you are never going to be able for you to reach your dream outcome, your dream reality. You're never going to be able to reach alignment. Step 2 is to slow down your body in order to free your mind. So survival mode keeps you stuck in go mode. It thrives on urgency, it thrives on movement, it thrives on pushing, on forcing, on action, on rushing. So that means if you want to shift out of that, that means you need to do the opposite of what you are doing right now. The opposite of rushing, the opposite of forcing, the opposite of moving, the opposite of action. The opposite of all of these things is stillness. You have to do the thing that feels so counterintuitive and so against to what you're actually feeling compelled to do. You feel compelled to take action. Well, what you need to do actually is to slow down, is to stay still. And I remember recently, like when I was being in this hamster wheel state of fight or flight, taking action, I remember I was on the treadmill and I was trying to rush my workout, being so wired and be like, okay, I need to get this done so like I can go home and eat and do this and work and do that after. And how can you even rush something like that? Like, it wasn't that I was doing it any faster or any better in any way that could let me go like away from that task and to get it done faster. It was just me panicking and completely keeping myself wired and anxious and stressed in this state in order to just go to the next task. And so when I realized it, I was like, what am I actually doing right now? Why am I like panicking and just seeing myself going to the next task and to the next task? It was a moment for me where I just let go and I looked away from my phone. I completely stopped trying to detach, to disassociate and distract myself. And I looked outside the window, completely anchored myself and grounded myself in the present moment. And from then on, my workout just felt so much better, so much more softer, like so much less stressful on my body, and time actually went by faster because I wasn't like trying to force it. I wasn't trying to make it get done faster. I was just completely okay with being where I was. And I was trying to figure out something in my mind at that point. And I remember when I actually slowed down, I got the answer to what I was like thinking so hard on before with my logic. And that's the thing with your subconscious. When you create space in your body and allow your body to feel safe, you create enough space for your subconscious to speak. And it's from that space of your subconscious speaking that you can get the answers, because clarity lives in your subconscious mind. It doesn't live in your overworked thinking conscious mind. Because if it was to get the solution from overthinking, then overthinking will feel like a great activity for everyone to do. Instead, overthinking is an activity that completely drains us. And if you think about it, every time we overthink, we come out of it without any solution, without any answer, without any clarity. We just feel drained. And so that's when we finally feel drained. We say, okay, I'm just gonna completely let it go. I'm gonna sleep on this. And that's when we get the answer. Because the answer is never gonna come from your conscious mind. It's gonna come from your subconscious. So if you're feeling blocked, if you're feeling burned out, or if you're feeling like I can't just figure this thing out right now, just slow down. Try to slow yourself down. Try to make your body stay still for a moment. Go for a walk without any destination. Go and have a bath without having your phone or your iPad there. Oh, try to cook without being distracted and be completely like immersed in the task. Do one task, whatever that is, and be fully present. Go do your laundry and be like completely present and aware and mindful of what are you doing. So many of us, we're trying to rush through life in order to like go to the next thing and do the next thing and do the next thing into our completely full to-do list. But the more we do that, the more we actually are halted and put on a pause until we're able to finally remind ourselves to slow down, to be present in the present moment and be fully mindful and aware. And that's when things start to actually move again. We have this complete opposite notion and logic of thinking that in order for things to move, I need to move faster. And if I want things to move faster, I need to move faster. But it's a complete opposite actually. The more you pause, the more you still, the more you slow down, then the faster things start to move. Because then things move from clarity and from intention and not from forcing. Things move from your subconscious and not from your conscious. So this is your sign to slow down, to let your pace match your breath, to let your pace be deep and slow, just as your breath is. Because when you slow down your pace, you access something your conscious mind and your rushing mind never would. And in that space that you access through slowing down, in that space everything becomes clearer. In that space you gain clarity. Step number 3 is to let go of the need to control. And this is a very hard one for a lot of us, I know. The hardest part about being stuck in survival mode is that your brain constantly tells you, if I don't figure it out, everything will fall apart. And so what do? You try to control things, you try to hold things together yourself, thinking that if I drop this, if I surrender, if I don't go and figure this out, if I don't go and try and move and do things, everything is going to fall apart. But actually, things are going to fall together. But in your logical thinking mind, you think that as long as I have control, as long as I try to keep things together, I try to force things, I try to force control, things are not gonna fall apart. So what do? You grip harder, you overanalyze things, you overthink things, you try to control every detail, you try to control every outcome. But the truth is, the more you try to control, the more resistance you create. And the more resistance you create, the further away the thing that you're trying to get moves from you. So many of us, we know that what we're doing feels like subconsciously wrong, but we are so afraid of letting go because we're afraid of what will happen if we do. And I used to do this when it came to a lot of things, but I used to do this especially when it came to love. I reached a point in my life where I was very I decided I will find the one, and I was obsessed with this idea, and to the point where I was like, okay, if I want to do this, maybe then I need to move and I need to act and I need to force and I need to control things myself. I need to go and find him myself if I want this. I didn't try before, so now I put this intention in my head that I want to find the one. So in my head I was like, I have to find him. So what I will do is that I will make lists, I will journal, I will make visualizations, I will do my affirmations, I will do everything. I will go out and to date, I will try to force connections even though they didn't feel right, and I was trying to force manifesting my dream partner on my timeline. And so you can imagine how every time I did that, things didn't go right. I didn't end up creating any meaningful relationships. I didn't end up attracting my dream relationship, my dream partner. I didn't end up finding the one. I was actually finding all of the wrong ones instead. And that was because I was in a state of resistance and I wasn't able to do the thing that was going to allow me attract the right one for me. I wasn't able to surrender and completely let it go. I was in that state of forcing and trying to control things. I was trying to bend my reality into what I thought was best for me. So I will be dating people and I will be trying to force things to happen in a way that I wanted to happen because I thought that this was the best possible way things could happen, right? And all of this came from a place of fear, not from a place of trust and of faith and alignment. I was completely fearful of if I didn't control things, then things wouldn't be the way that I wanted them to be. What finally changed things was when I reached a point where I just completely let it go. I was like, I'm surrendering. I stopped looking, I stopped forcing, I stopped trying, and I completely surrendered. I realized that going at things through resistance, through forcing, through controlling didn't serve me anymore. It didn't give me any outcome that I wanted. So I just completely let it go. I put it out of my mind and I switched back my focus on myself. And I said, you know what? I will put all of this energy that I'm pouring outside of me, and I will pour it into myself. Instead of trying to find the one, I'm going to try to become the one. I'm going to try to become the version of me who is in a healthy relationship, who is in a loving relationship, and a person who is already in that dream relationship. So when I did that, when I turned the focus inward, I started working on myself, healing myself. I was able to start realizing things about my wounds and the stories that I was telling myself that were actually making me feel unsafe and making me feel unable to attract a healthy relationship. And when I addressed them and I was able then to create a secure attachment for myself, I slowly started becoming the version of myself that will be in a healthy relationship. Then things start to move for me. I remember I completely surrendered and I completely let it go, and I stopped trying to force things, and I reached a state in my mind where I completely didn't care if I was in a relationship anymore. And I knew immediately when I started thinking and feeling like that, when I felt completely content and full with myself and where I am, and not needing a relationship and not needing love, because I was completely in love with myself and with my life. I felt so full and so fulfilled with what I had. I knew that I was saying to myself, oh, this is when I'm gonna get in a relationship. Now I know I'm gonna get in a relationship, because we know how people tell you, like, when you stop looking, you're gonna find him. Like, there is a reasoning behind it, because when you stop looking means like you are no longer caring, you're no longer looking for that one. And so when you stop putting your focus outwards and not externally, you put your focus internally into your life, having a good time with yourself, that's when that person finds you, and that's when things start to happen for you. And I remember that summer was the last summer that I was single, and I am right now in a relationship with the person that I consider the one, a relationship that is in complete alignment. And that is only because I was able to finally get out of my way, stop forcing things to be in the way that I wanted them and I had to control them to happen, but actually I let it completely go. I surrendered, and in return I was awarded with something even greater than what I thought I wanted. It was something that was beyond my expectations, and this could only come from a place of surrender and letting go of control, because we think we know everything, we think we know what is best for us, we think we know what is perfect, but actually what it is even out there for us is way bigger and way greater than what our conscious mind can fathom. And we have to be able to understand the difference. Control is coming out of fear. The people that you see that are so controlling, are so like perfectionistic, they're trying to keep control. This control comes out of fear. Their fear of not being good enough, a fear of things falling apart, a fear of letting things just be and like happening. But when you see someone that surrenders and lets go and just let it be, that person, that state comes out of trust, and creation is rooted in trust. So that's when you're able to create things, because you come from a place of faith and trust and confidence that things will happen in the way that they're supposed to happen. So if you want to shift out of survival mode, you need to stop obsessing over what is not yours to manage, what is not yours to control. If it's not something you can control, it's not something for you to try to force and control. If it's out of your power, then it should be out of your mind, because as long as you can control that thing, you can't force that thing, then it shouldn't be something that you try to force in your mind. Because what is the point? Is that energy well spent? You can't control it, you can't change it, you literally have no hands over that situation and no power over that situation. So the best thing you can do is just completely let it go and surrender and trust that things are gonna happen the way that you want them. So if you want to start actually pouring your energy into things that you can actually control and you can actually have influence over, then this is how to start. First of all, ask yourself, what are you trying to control and why? Usually it traces back to a time where you felt afraid and you felt helpless. You felt like not in control of things. But controlling and forcing your present won't heal your past. Letting it go will. Step 2 is to gently loosen your grip. Ask yourself, if I stop trying to fix things right now, what will actually happen? Probably nothing bad, right? Like, if you let things go, nothing could really derail in such extent where it could just be the end of the world. And just by realizing that, you will feel lighter, you will feel better, you'll feel like actually is not the end of the world, it's not as catastrophic as I have it in my mind to be. In this way, you make room for something better, you make room for other possibilities and other things that could happen. And thirdly, focus on what you can control. Focus on your habits, focus on your energy, focus on your boundaries, focus on your actions, your intentional actions. Write 3 things that you have been avoiding and do them today. That alone will bring you back into your power. Focusing on the things that you can actually control and not the things that are out of your control and you are trying to force. Focus on the things that will bring you more into alignment and things that you have been procrastinating on doing and focusing on. Things that are about yourself, putting that spotlight on yourself, and do those things that will serve you rather than trying to control circumstances and control people. Because the moment you stop gripping so hard, you allow space for the right things to come in. You're no longer forcing people, you are allowing people. And when you allow people and you allow things to come into your life, you attract the people and the things that are right for you and not the things that you think are right for you. It's not what your ego thinks is best for you. It's not what your ego is demanding, but what is actually aligned with your soul and your spirit, what your spirit feels as the best option for you, what your higher self has been quietly waiting to deliver to you. But this will only come when you push aside your ego, when you completely let go, you completely surrender, you stop controlling things, and you have faith and confidence in the things that are meant for you to come to you no matter how difficult it may seem. And that's why people say what is meant for you will find you, because it's rooted in this truth. So that's it for today, guys. I hope this video served as your reminder that if you are in this state of survival, you're not doing anything wrong, there's nothing wrong with you, but by staying in this state, you simply blocking yourself from having access to your dream life. So the way to unblock yourself, unblock all of the blessings that are not able to reach you and become a reality in your life is for you to heal your nervous system, to regulate your nervous system, to bring yourself out of survival and out of fight or flight, and to bring yourself into safety, into stillness, and into surrender. And when you do that, when you make these things a way of living slowly, softly, with trust and surrender, you put your body in a state of trust, in a state of no longer fighting and trying to stay alive, but in a state of expansion, in a state of believing that great things are meant to happen in my life. And so you are finally able to align with these things because you are getting the intuition, you're getting the creativity, you are aligned with your feminine energy, will guide you to the actions that are going to lead you to your desired outcome. So that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any more questions on this topic that you want me to answer, please let me know. I appreciate you, I love you, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.